Hey guys, welcome to my first vlog. So I just moved into my new house. I don't really have any furniture yet, so that's why I'm standing in my kitchen. It's a little echoey because there's literally nothing in here, so I'm sorry about that. But I was thinking about something today and I kind of wanted to share it with you guys. So before I went into medicine, I had never been anywhere where there was a medical emergency or somebody was calling for a doctor or anything like that. But seriously, as soon as you go into medicine, things like this are happening all the time. So I'm gonna tell you about the first time and the last time that this happened to me. The last time was just a couple months ago. The first time I was in med school. I think I was a first year med student. Wait, I definitely wasn't a first year, but it was definitely in med school. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So the first time this happened, I was at a funeral, right? I know, it's weird. So I was at the funeral with my sister and my dad, but my sister and I had gone in and sat down, so we're sitting in a pew waiting for the funeral to start. And all of a sudden, my dad runs up from the side and he's like, "Crystal, there's a lady out there, she's having a seizure, they need you." And I was like, "Me?" So I get up and start following my dad, and in my head I'm like, oh my gosh, so what do I do if someone's having a seizure? And I'm like, okay, we'll have to turn her on her side. And by this time, we're already like almost to the lobby, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? I don't know how to be a doctor yet. I'm still in med school. So we get out there, and it's this elderly lady. She's laying on the ground. She is not having a seizure, clearly. It turned out that she had just passed out, and so she's already on the ground. They have her feet elevated. She has a bottle of water, and so I just went up and I was asking her, like, are you okay? Do you know where you are? Do you remember what happened? And she was literally fine. Somebody had already called the ambulance that was coming to get her, which probably that wasn't even necessary. It was just an extra precaution to make sure she was doing okay. But I think it was just really hot in the church, and she passed out because it was hot. And so she was already laying there, everything was already being done, and so I'm like, okay, there's really nothing for me to do here. So I start walking away, and my dad was so disappointed. He's like, "Why didn't you do anything else?" And I was like, there's literally nothing to do. So yeah, that was my first very unexciting experience of being called upon in public, and I definitely didn't feel ready for it, but luckily it was nothing too serious. Later we heard that the lady was fine. So after that first time, I kind of realized that when you're out there in the field and you're not in clinic and you're not in the hospital, you don't have any tools or medications or fluids at your disposal, there's not a lot you can do besides make sure somebody's okay and call for extra help. I mean, the biggest things, like if somebody goes down in cardiac arrest, like I know how to do CPR, I know how to run a code, so that might be helpful, but besides that, there's not like a ton that we can do. So anyways, fast forward to a few months ago, I was in fellowship and I finally have a full weekend off. So I decided to get away for the weekend, went on a little weekend trip, just wanted to relax, have some fun, ended up going to a baseball game and just enjoying some baseball. It was a really hot day. It was probably like, I don't know, like 90 something degrees. It was really hot. And so we're just enjoying the game, and I have to use the bathroom. So I start walking towards the bathroom, and there is somebody guarding the door outside. They're like, "You can't go in here right now." And I was like, "Okay, what's going on?" And they were like, "We have a medical emergency inside." So I say, "Oh, what is it? I'm a doctor." And so they're like, "Oh, you're a doctor? Go, go, go." There's already a lady with her who happens to be a nurse. This young woman is laying on the ground. She's probably like mid-20s, Asian, and she's just out, non-responsive. And they're not really doing anything. They're trying to get on her phone, but her phone is all in another language. We couldn't open it, couldn't get a hold of anybody she was with, and they had already called the emergency personnel at the field, and they were on their way. And so this lady's not responsive, and I'm thinking, okay, it's 90 something degrees outside. This lady has probably been drinking. She could be having a heat stroke. She could have low blood sugar. She could have just gotten hot and kind of got dehydrated and lost consciousness. I don't know what's going on, but nothing's happening right now. So I was like, somebody give me ice right now. So somebody went and grabbed ice. Literally, I have no gloves. I'm shoving ice down this lady's skirt, under her armpits, and she's starting to come around. She's starting to wake up, but she can't really speak English. She's able to, at that point, open her phone for us, but we still can't read anything or call anybody. But now she's alert. She knows who she is. She tells us she had a beer, that she was feeling really warm. So at this point, the emergency personnel gets there, and they have a stretcher and literally nothing else. I asked them, do you have a thermometer? Because at this point I'm worried about taking her temperature so we can make sure she's not having a heat stroke. Although by this point she's a little more coherent, although she still looks really sleepy. She can answer some of our questions, but not all of them because she doesn't speak English, so I can't tell if she's really oriented or not. So I'm worried about heat stroke, low blood sugar. I don't know if she might have diabetes that we don't know about or something, but they literally had nothing. But she was waking up more and more as we were sitting there. At that point, they were getting ready to load her on the stretcher, so she's awake. Somehow somebody found one of her friends who was waiting outside for her, and they whisked her away to whatever medical area they had, and that was it. I'm assuming she ended up okay. I'm assuming she didn't have heat stroke, or we probably would have heard it in the news. That's one of the unsatisfying things about doing something that's not in the clinic or not in the hospital. You literally have no follow-up with these patients, so I don't know what happened to her. So that's one of the reasons that I went into family medicine, because I like being able to have that continuity with patients and being able to follow up with them and actually see how they're doing and what happened. So yeah, hope she's doing okay. So those are my stories. The first and the last time that I got called upon to use my doctor skills when I was out in public. I'm still waiting for the time that I get called on a plane. Hasn't happened yet. I fly a lot, so I'm crossing my fingers that it doesn't happen. But if it does, I am ready. I really, really hope it doesn't, but if it does, I'm ready. So thank you guys for watching today. I know we got a little bit away from the silly medical humor today, but I thought this might be something that you guys would enjoy hearing about. If you want to see more stuff like this, let me know down in the comments. If you want to see something else, let me know that too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next Monday.